My name is Nicole Patton, and I am the manager of grassroots advocacy for the National Down Syndrome Society. I'm going to be presenting today on NDSS, TikTok, and VoterVoice, and how NDSS found digital advocacy success by combining VoterVoice and TikTok. So just a little bit background on the National Down Syndrome Society. We are the leading human rights organization for all individuals with Down syndrome. And NDSS supports and advocates for the Down syndrome community by focusing on 3 key areas of programming, which include resources and support, policy and advocacy, and community engagement. We at the National Down Syndrome Society have a very tiny advocacy and public policy team. So we really rely on our grassroots supporters to take action and advocate for these issues that matter to them. And we really focus on educating the public about Down syndrome and the inequalities that people with Down syndrome experience. So using TikTok for advocacy, when we started our TikTok channel, it was a kind of back and forth between our communications team and our public policy team. We really advocated to them that we wanted this TikTok channel. At that point in time, TikTok was still relatively new. There were little scaries around what TikTok was, but as an avid TikTok user myself, I really advocated to our team that we really needed to utilize this really different and unique channel, much different than Facebook and Instagram and other social media platforms out there. So one of our very first TikToks was this TikTok. There's a screen cap on there. It's just 2 people with something in common looking at one another. That was a trend at this time when we had made this TikTok. So it was a lot of just 2 people sharing something in common with one another, looking at each other in the screen. But ours had, just 2 people who think that people with Down syndrome should have equal rights, looking at each other. And there was an explosion of responses. As you can see, there were 850,000 views on this TikTok, and it being our second TikTok was kind of wild. So, while we were able to garner, the loads of support that were coming in, we were able to begin building that awareness piece and letting people know that, hey, people with Down syndrome don't have equal rights as people without Down syndrome. And here's where we can then utilize our TikTok to explain all of the inequalities that individuals with Down syndrome face. After we were able to utilize the platform, build that engagement, we were able to then use a follow-up TikTok that explained all of the inequalities that came with having Down syndrome. So there was another trend going on at the same time, and it was a put a finger down challenge. So put a finger down if you're legally allowed to be paid less than the federal minimum wage. My colleague with Down syndrome would put his finger down, and then you as an audience member wouldn't be able to put a finger down because legally you can't be paid less than the federal minimum wage unless you apply for a 14C certificate and have incapacities that wouldn't allow you to be able to work at the federal minimum wage. And everybody on that TikTok said, what can I do? How can I get involved? I had no idea about these inequalities. They're awful, ableist, etc. So when we received those comments, we directed them to a link in our bio that had the VoterVoice action alerts. So we were able to then utilize our link in our bio that people can use and take action on. And they were able to then go to our action center and take action on the legislative priorities that we had that addressed these same issues. So we were able to, as it says, engage and mobilize the grassroots and grass top supporters effectively with these integrated tools that we had available so that they can participate and take action and feel a part of the change. We had overnight first-time advocate growth. We were able to track these first-time advocates and who was taking action and what congressional districts they were from. We added 5 new members to our congressional task force on Down syndrome in areas that we weren't necessarily able to target before because of our TikTok platform. They were able to use the link to message their members to say, please join our task force. It was really exciting. It was really amazing to see. We also recruited and engaged advocates to text to join newsletter surveys and scorecards. So, there was a lot of follow-up that went into making sure that, they weren't just utilizing our email, but they were also going and getting involved in other ways. We were able to get new participants in our grassroots network, our DS Ambassador program, which was really amazing. We had an overnight growth. I think there was about 50 new people within a few weeks, which is really, really exciting. And shared results and report maps to ensure key stakeholders understand the value and impact of outreach. We had to share with our board and let them know that this was a good choice that we had made, and that, TikTok isn't just something, for us, more work for us to do, but this is something that's going to really turn us around and going to, shoot us to the moon and be able to utilize this platform so that folks can take action, and that, they're getting involved with NDSS, their potential donors, potential sponsors, maybe even. So it was really, really great. It was really, really great. Our budget. When we started our TikTok, there was no money involved. We were right at peak pandemic time, and we weren't able to go out and get fancy equipment, or, a lot of people use ring lights. We weren't able to utilize any of those things. I had to text my colleagues with Down syndrome and say, hey, can you, help me make a TikTok? Here's a question that we got. Can you answer it? Or here's what I want to do. Can you make a video about this? And that's how we strategized our TikTok platform. So unfortunately we didn't have any money, but it's one of the things that we put $0 into it, but we got so much out of it, more than we could have anticipated. So amplifying that campaign, on the first 58 videos we had, we were able to get 133,000 followers, over 4.6 million likes, and 19 million video views. We were able to inform and engage people outside of the Down syndrome community about our legislative priorities and encourage them to take action. We had over 4,000 messages go out to members of Congress and their staff on our legislative priorities. Through TikTok, we had over 4,000 messages go out to members of Congress and their staff on our legislative priorities through VoterVoice, and totaling now at about 40,000 emails and 28,000 new advocates we were able to get through TikTok. And through TikTok, we've been able to engage people at the state level, even more so on our legislative priorities, especially our organ transplant discrimination legislation that we've been looking to pursue. And it even got, in turn, a federal bill, which was named after my colleague Charlotte, the Charlotte Woodward Organ Transplant Discrimination Prevention Act. Charlotte's featured in a lot of our TikToks, and she's one of the biggest ones who received media attention. We were featured in on the today.com website and on BuzzFeed and many other online platforms, just because of our TikTok. If you haven't already, definitely go check out the things about having Down syndrome that don't make sense TikTok, another one that followed the trends at that time and proved to be really successful with over 4.3 million views. With this new following that we were receiving, we were able to, again, get this public attention, amplified our campaign with paid ads. We were able to get a $15,000 ad credit from TikTok after building a relationship with their team. So we've been able to then promote our TikToks through the platform even more, which is then in turn turned into more donations and more awareness and more people taking action on our priorities. We were able to tap into these existing communities, and we partnered with champions like Zach and Pat Valentine. They are a brother duo with Down syndrome, one of the brothers having Down syndrome, and they create these really wholesome videos, to show that folks, that they're just like everyone else. People with Down syndrome are just like everyone else, and their videos are so cute. I love them so much. Existing awareness efforts. So during Down Syndrome Awareness Month, we were able to garner $55,000 in donations and raise an additional $23,000 with the sticker that we were given from TikTok to donate money to the National Down Syndrome Society. And the impact in policy that we've had is, with this continued awareness, people are interested, they're learning more, they're taking action, they're creating petitions, they're reaching out to their members of Congress, they're getting involved at the state level, they're joining our grassroots advocacy program. And we were able to do all this with, no money to start with. So, and, just a little bit of effort from our team, which is really, really amazing. And one of the things that I did want to share, one of our biggest takeaways from this whole experience is that the personal content works. We want to ensure that we are engaging with the audience in a way that we don't necessarily do on other social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We're not talking at the audience. We're having a conversation with the audience. We're talking to each other. My colleague with Down syndrome is saying, hey, there's this issue that affects me and I really need your help. And that person who's watching this video says, yes, I hear you, I see you. I'm going to go and I'm going to do what I can to help. So, we want to continue to create that connection, especially on our other social media, but especially on TikTok, where we find it to be the most successful. So it's really powerful to see when people don't know, people don't know what they don't know. And they were able to find out through a person with Down syndrome, there are all these issues that are affecting people with Down syndrome. And we want to make sure that interaction continues and that it's a really powerful way to get folks involved.